All right, all right, all right. Hey, everybody, it is Kendell Lenice, and welcome to More Than Just a Movie, where my brother Leroy and I break down classic Black films, TV, and the Black experience when it comes to culture and media. This is season 6 of More Than Just a Movie. And I'm looking at this. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me see. Wait a minute. I'm looking at something right here. I think we have a banner for this. I think I put the old one on there. But welcome to More Than Just a Movie. MT Jams is what we call it. And all month long, well, I shouldn't say all month, all season, we're focusing on Black directors. All the Black directors that we know and the ones that you may not even know uh, their director's resume. I was talking to Leroy earlier and I named some of the names that we'll talk about. And Leroy was like, what they direct? He was like, they directed? What they I mentioned Lisa Raye and, Vivica Fox. He was like, what they direct? Well, I mentioned Regina King. He like, okay. Tasha Smith, she
No,
directing
I
all
knew
over the
Regina
place.
King had. Yeah,
Right. Debbie Allen,
yeah,
Jasmine
absolutely.
Guy, Kim Fields. We got a
That's who
lot
you
of
didn't
Black.
have on the list.
Who, Kim
That's who
Fields?
you didn't have on. Yeah,
Oh, I
she
had
should
it
have
on
been
my
on the
list.
list.
I just didn't give it to you.
Okay,
Yeah, so Kim Fields, I
for
have that
sure.
on my list. And I told him Jada Pinkett Smith, and he was like, "What's she direct?" I said, "She been directing since the '90s. She been
Yeah, I
under
looked it up.
the radar."
I looked it up.
Yep. So
Her and Jasmine Guy and
and just
Vivica Fox. I looked all
yeah,
of them up.
yeah, because I told Leroy, and Leroy was like, "What they direct?" And that's why we're doing this show to get people more aware of the different things, but the different people behind the lenses. And I wanted to do Black actresses who are also directors. Salli Richardson-Whitfield, she is killing the game when it comes to directing. And I wanted to honor them because y'all know anytime I can honor a woman, because we done had like 5 or 6 male directors, and I was like, okay, we got Ava DuVernay, we had Gina Bythewood, Prince Bythewood, we had her. And by the way, shout out to Gina Prince Bythewood. She saw the show that we did on her spotlighting Black directors in her episode. She saw it and she appreciated it. And that's the second time that that's happened to us, Leroy. So it's telling me we on the right track. But hey, Leroy.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a great thing. When I mean, and they are so worthy of being highlighted, spotlighted, talked about because there's nobody else that's done that. I promise
Mm-hmm.
you,
Mm-hmm.
nobody else that has given these directors their flowers, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great that a Miss Gina Prince Bythewood saw it
Mm-hmm.
and appreciated it. And we
Mm-hmm.
do. We want to let them know we
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you, your body of work, the things that you've done, because people don't see you. You
Yeah.
know, they just see the ones that are in front of the cameras, not
Yeah.
behind the cameras,
Yeah.
and don't get the acknowledgement that that you deserve. And that's always been me. Whether
Yeah.
it's entrepreneurs, the everyday small business entrepreneurs that don't get spotlighted, that don't get
Yeah.
talked about. Those are the people that they work hard every day,
Yeah.
every day,
Yeah.
and nobody pays attention to them. Nobody's talked to them, and the ones that we're going to talk about today, yeah, they're well known in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they're well known in front of the camera, but
Yeah.
to know that they have more than just being in front of the camera, that they can actually
Exactly.
step behind. They've stepped behind the camera, and they're able to be able to bring a script to life. And
Yeah.
that takes talent. Like we said, we've been saying this all along. That's not something that's easy to do.
No. And they're the
You
boss.
know,
So when
It-
you
it-
think about an actress,
it-
right, and they know what it's like to be behind the camera, I always think actors and actresses
mhm.
make the best director because they know the direction that they needed, right, as an actress or actor. And
Mhm.
today we're talking about Black actresses who, let me make sure that banner is up. Black actresses who also direct. So we're going to be talking about Salli Richardson
Uh, uh,
Whitfield. We're going to be talking about Kim Fields, Jada Pinkett Smith. We're going to be talking about Lisa Raye, Vivica Fox, Regina King. We're going to talk about Jasmine Guy, Debbie Allen, right? All of these amazing actresses that we love, the movies that we talk about here on More Than Just a Movie. But now we're talking about them on the other side of the camera. Were you going to say something, Leroy?
fellas, fellas, you know I ain't gonna let her forget about us. So next week you can expect black men actors who have gone behind the camera too.
Y'all done
So
took over
you
y'all
know,
done
yeah.
already took over this
Nah,
season.
don't even try it. Don't even try it.
I'm
No
with them.
ma'am, no
I'm
ma'am.
with it. I'm
Those
with it.
those were those were all directors that we talked about, the male directors, and we did the
I'm with
female
it.
directors. And I like that twist that you put on. That's really cool. That these are black females who are actresses, but have gone and directed, and have gone and stepped behind the camera very successfully too. We might add
Mhm.
too. So,
Right.
you know,
Successful actresses and actors
yeah,
and
exactly.
directors.
So, yeah. So what we're going to be talking about and talking about them, some of the shows and movies you may know, some that you'd be like, well, really? They directed that? They did
Mhm.
that?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm. So
yeah.
let's start with Dondre Whitfield's wife. Let's start with male
His
versus male
wifey.
author's wife, right? They've been married over 20 years. We talking about Salli Richardson Whitfield. Y'all know her as
Yeah.
Salli Richardson. Y'all know her from Low Down Dirty Shame when her and Jada went head to head. And she said, you cute. We know about that. Keaton Ivy Wayans, Shame's boo, his former boo, and from Posse and all kind of acting gigs she's had along the way. And Salli Richardson Whitfield um has directed several episodes of episodic television, from Queen Sugar to Eureka,
Mhm.
which is on as Ava DuVernay, has we spotlighted before as a director. And if you guys remember, when we spotlighted Ava DuVernay, I talked about Ava DuVernay's first movie, and I talked about how great it was, and it was simple, and it was starring Salli Richardson Whitfield and Omari Hardwick. So I remember the story with Ava DuVernay and Salli Richardson. I heard her on a podcast, and she was saying that Ava asked her to direct, and was like, even with that movie, Ava's first movie, Salli was telling her different things. And she said, you're a director, right? And this was before Salli Richardson started directing. And I heard her on, I believe it was Gammy, Jada Pinkett Smith's mom, her podcast. I believe it was on there because I know Salli Richardson was on there, Whitfield. And it was like, you do know that you're a director, right? And she wasn't a director, but I guess, again, because of the eye she had as an actress, she knew the direction she wanted the character to go. So, hi, welcome, guys.
Hey, what's up, Mike? That's Michael Norton. Yeah, that's
Hi.
that brother. Yeah,
Yes,
that's a great brother right there. He's always supporting, no matter what I'm doing. He always
yes.
supports that.
And that's probably how he started following me, because of you. You must I must have been you were my reference to make sure I was good people before.
Yeah, so crazy.
But
Yeah, she good people.
thank you. And she also directed Salli Richardson Whitfield Underground, which my daughter loved, BET's drama Rebel. She's directed Survivor's Remorse.
Whatever
That was
happened to
my
that show?
I don't know. But did you
Because
ever
Rebel,
watch
that show was pretty good.
I didn't watch it. I've seen it, but I didn't
That was
watch
pretty good. I thought that was good. It's a couple of shows that BET had.
it.
The college show with my girl from Dreamgirls. I always thought she's so fine. Um, she's actually a singer. And I can't think of her name, but she played the president of the university, I believe.
Mhm.
And I can't remember
Mhm.
the name of the show, but I thought it was a great show because it kind of was a upgraded, updated, different world, if you will,
Mhm.
because it was about a
Mhm.
college campus and everything like that.
Mhm.
It was really great. But
Mhm.
but Rebel was another show that was on there too, and they fell to the side. I was
I
like, "Yeah,
wonder
yeah, those are good. Those were good to me. They were good shows. They were
because
good.
it could
I
have
won't
been.
say wholesome. They were positive shows. That's probably what it was because they were positive shows. And the Rebel was she was a something that she was a cop that had turned. Was like she was a good cop, but she was turning in bad cop, and she kind of
Yeah.
had to do things. So it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
would have to check it
you know,
out. It probably still is
yeah. I wonder
available,
if
and a
it's it
lot of
might be.
times we
Yeah,
don't
it
know
might.
if it's because of funding. It could
Yeah,
be
you're right.
because of
You're right.
contract. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
In that
You know.
movie with Ava DuVernay that Salli Richardson is was talking about is I Will Follow. It's a
Okay.
independent. It's a simple movie, but it was a great movie, and that was Ava DuVernay's first one, where she saw Salli Richardson's talent. Survivor's Remorse, like that
Yeah,
show
that was
was
a good show.
so.
Yeah,
That show
yeah.
was a great show. That was a great show. If you guys have
Yeah, that was
never
a good
seen
show.
Survivor's Remorse, it's older,
My
but
girl,
it's a great show.
my
Tashina
girl,
Arnold.
yeah, she was off the chain on there.
Yes, she was off the chain. She was off the chain. And she's directed I'm Dying Up Here, Blackish, Dear White People, which my oldest daughter introduced me to, which is a great show. The Agents of Shield. She's done Chicago Med, Luke Cage, which I used to love that. Black Lightning,
Really?
American Gods, I mean, on and on and on. In 2019, Richardson, I'm sorry. The Gilded
No, no.
Age,
I
that's
was
what I
saying,
wanted
wow.
to talk about because that's her huge one.
Really?
She's like an executive producer over there. Like that's a
Okay.
huge that was like her hugest directorial deal.
Hmm.
And that's where she
Okay.
said that she really just started falling in love with it and they started raising her high. And for a movie like that or a
Okay.
series like that, it's
Hmm.
usually not a black woman director at the helm.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Okay.
And I've listened to her talk about that opportunity. But let's be clear, in 2019, she is being recognized. Richardson received NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Directing in a drama series for her work in directing Luke Cage. Also, 2019, she won a Black Reel Award for Outstanding Directing in a comedy series for Blackish. Also, she has a project developmental deal for HBO that's with Gilded Age. The Gilded Age, and she also, people don't know that she did the Lakers project. There's a that documentary, well, not documentary, the movie about the Lakers.
Yeah, the
She
series.
directed,
Yeah, it's a
yes, the
series.
series. She's directed that also. Um, and she's doing her thing when it comes to directing. And she was asked on that podcast about directing and acting, and she said she may go back to acting if the right role is there, but she's in love with directing. So let's talk about that
Hmm.
quickly. Then we're going to go into the other ladies, but when you discover your passion, when you think your passion is one thing and you discover it's something else. Let's talk about that for a moment. What you think about that?
Well, I think that I hope that these actors and actresses understand, and even artists, those that sing, understand that you're pretty much most of the lifespan of an artist, the
Mhm.
lifespan of an actor, actress is only but so long.
Mhm.
You already only have a small amount of roles. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
then the time frame in which you have to be able to do that is
Mhm.
already small. And the
Yeah.
way that the way that you create sustainability for yourself
Yeah.
is by having other skill sets. That's what Salli Richardson
Talking.
has done. That's what Denzel has
Mhm.
done. That's what a lot of
Mhm.
the actors that were in front of the camera,
Mhm.
they were like, look, Malcolm Jamal Warner's done it too. Because
Mhm.
he
We
did
talking
that
about
on
the
the
men
Cosby
next
Show.
week. We talking about the men next week. We talking about all them next week.
Yeah.
This about the
Well, even, I
ladies.
mean, but if you want, I mean, you can
I'm
take
just
Regina King. You can take Regina King. You can take Vivica Fox. All of these, Jada, all of these ladies have been in front of the camera.
yeah,
So to add to to who they are and what they can do to their talents, they said, "Hey, let me learn an additional talent."
yeah,
Because what that does is that gives you the ability to be able to not, hey, just sit around and wait for projects to come to you because they're so few and far
yeah,
between. But you can then, as a director, you can create a project because
yeah,
you can get with the screenwriter and say, hey, I
yeah,
can put it together. You
yeah.
know, there's I don't know how many screenplay writers there are out there in Hollywood. I'm sure there's thousands of them.
I'm sure.
But you get with the right one as a director, and you already have the name because you've been in front of the camera.
Yeah,
You leverage that.
yeah,
You can leverage that, and
yeah,
I mean, people have to realize that you have to have multiple streams of income.
yeah.
That doesn't exclude actors and actresses.
Correct.
You know, you gotta be able to understand to be able to do more and be more. And I
Yeah,
love the fact that these ladies that we're talking about today have chosen to say, you know what, yeah, I'm not just gonna wait for projects to come to me. I'm gonna I'm gonna learn a
yeah,
skill set. I'm gonna be able to be able to get some scripts, get
yeah,
some scripts and be able to say, hey, I can put a project together. Because that's what a director does. A director puts a project together, you know. So
we
I think
hire, and
the
for those
more,
that don't know, we talked about that at the beginning of the season with what a director does for people who may not know.
yeah.
When you're directing a project, you cast the project, you make sure the right actors are in the role, you make sure the
Hmm.
location, the scenery, who else is hired for everything. You're the head honcho when it comes to the vision, bringing whatever vision it is to life, even down to, ooh, I don't like her in that outfit, let's change that, let's change the hair, let's change the scenery, because it's that vision. You're bringing the writer's vision to life, and you're directing the whole situation on how it's going to look and what you end up seeing. That's why we wanted to spotlight directors, right, Leroy?
Yeah, absolutely. And like we've said, that takes an eye. Like you were just talking about Sally
Mm-hmm.
Richardson. Someone noticed that she had an eye for it.
Mm-hmm.
That she had an eye for having vision.
Mm-hmm.
She had an eye for how she saw things.
Yeah.
How she thought. So no,
Yeah.
that doesn't look quite right. I would have done it this way. you know
Yeah.
and when you have somebody that kind of can see something in you that you don't necessarily see in yourself.
Yeah.
you know Ava Div-
Yeah.
Ava DuVernay put that bug in Sally Richardson's ear,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then she was like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
Did.
she might be kind of right, and then somebody else says it. It's like,
Yeah.
well, Dawn, well, you the second,
Yeah.
third,
Yeah.
fourth person that has said it to
Yeah.
me. Maybe
Yeah.
I need to look into
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
Yeah.
that Sally Richardson, is so grateful for an Ava DuVernay,
Yeah.
for to
Yeah.
someone to say, look, I see more for you than just being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's think about
Yeah.
what you can do or what you want to do behind the camera.
Right. Right.
Right.
So
So let's
yeah,
Right.
definitely
it's
go let's
great.
go through this let's go through this list. I wanted the next up, I wanted to talk about Tasha Smith. Basine said all the ladies are awesome at both crafts too. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
want to talk
absolutely.
about Tasha Smith because the comedian
Yes.
DC Young Fly, I think it was last week, he was on a podcast and I saw him talking about Tasha Smith and how she's a beast in directing and how she
Hmm.
is setting everybody up and how she is, so gracious. And he said that she doesn't get enough credit for being an amazing director. So I definitely wanted to put my New Jersey
Mm.
homegirl on here, South Jersey homegirl, same age, Tasha Smith. We know her as loud talking Tasha Smith from Daddy's Little Girl, from Why Did I Get Married 1 and 2, For Better or Worse. You know, she comes on and makes a presence. And what is the she was just on Michelle Boudoir, her new movie. I mean, her new series. What is the I can't even think, it'll come to me. Um it'll come to me. But she's even on that series. So she started off Survival of the Thickest. She is on there as well, and that's on Netflix. I don't know if you guys seen that, but she's acting on there. So she's doing both. Where Salli Richardson said,
Mhm.
I'm going to focus on this direction, you know, being a
Mhm.
director. Tasha is still doing both because people are calling her for roles that fit her. And every time she's in a role, I'm like, I could see that. And she's so good. I'd be like, I don't know if she's acting or is that really her. When she was Angela on Why Did I Get Married? And she said, boom, I was just waiting for you. That scene at that dinner scene where all everything went awry. Y'all remember that famous dinner scene on Why Did I Get Married? And
Why is
the
it?
B
Why
the
is it that in
BB
our movies? Why is it that everything in our movies goes down at the dinner table?
at the dinner table.
Everything goes down at the
Man,
cookout, the dinner table, or funeral.
at
Everything
the
go
family
down.
reunion, it goes down. And if I never hear the name Marcus again by her saying it, I'm okay in life. Because she done yelled Marcus's name so many times, I don't even want to hear that name, you know? And just her background coming from Jersey, and she's talked about how she, you know, danced, how she was into all kind of stuff. She's from Camden, New Jersey, and ain't nothing nice going on there. Although they got a great amphitheater now, but we talking about 80s where it wasn't even like that. And to come out of that and being close friends at a young age before she came to Hollywood with Tisha Campbell, and Tisha Campbell was like, "Well, just come out
Okay.
here." You know, she said Tisha Campbell was dating somebody in her city and she met her and wanted to meet her. And this is like in the 80s. And her Tisha Campbell's mom and Tisha invited her out to Los Angeles. And it was on from there. So to for her to be able to kind of turn her life around, and she openly talks about the life that she's had as a child and the things that she has gone through, and to be able to be one of the top directors, the Black female directors, is kudos to her. Again, she has directed. Let me run down some of the things that she's directed, um, just so you get an understanding. Um, when Love Kills, I remember that was her one of her first directorial debuts outside of a short, and that was with that was the Felicia Blakely story. That was a real life story. She directed that. Lance Gross was in that. And then she did Tales, Black Lightning, my me and my youngest daughter's show 911. She's directed episodes on that. P Valley, Big Sky, Our Kind of People. I'm mad that they canceled that. Did you ever watch Our Kind of People with Yaya DaCosta?
No.
Did you? That was a good one with your
Nah.
girl Debbie Morgan. It was good.
Oh man.
And
Yeah, she
Mars
been in.
Chestnut,
Love
that
me
was a
some
good
Debbie
one.
Morgan, man.
I know you do. That's why I
Yeah.
said it. You know, I know all your baby. I
Yeah.
know all
That's
your crushes.
what was her name from All My Children?
And
Was it
Angie,
It was Jesse and
Jesse.
Angie. Jesse, I always remember
Mhm,
that. Jesse and Angie from
mhm,
All My Children.
mhm, mhm.
Loved her, man.
Yes.
Them dimples. Oh my God, them
Yeah,
dimples,
I
man.
know you.
Ooh.
I know all your crushes, Leroy. And you like Jill Scott too. She got the same. I mean, all I know all your crushes. And
She
one thing
been
I like
bugging
about
lately
your
though. She
crushes,
been.
they're all different shades of black and brown. Like you don't
Oh,
have just
absolutely.
all
Y'all
one kind.
beautiful.
Some of them
Yeah.
are
No,
thicker,
y'all
some of them are
beautiful.
skinny, some of them are taller, some shorter. I said one thing about Leroy, he don't discriminate. Some of them are older, like Thelma, like Bernadette Stannis. Some of them,
Woo!
you know,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Denise Neal.
Her and Debbie Morgan. Oh my goodness.
Mhm,
Yeah. Absolutely.
mhm. Yeah,
I ain't got no problem with
yeah, right. She also directed BMF Family, Bel Air, which is good, the new Bel Air. And she's directed
Okay.
so many other short films and independent movies. So when I heard him say
And
she's
I've
not
heard, and I've
honored, I was like, she definitely is going to be honored here because she's doing her
yeah,
thing.
yeah, and yeah, and I've heard. I don't know where I've been. Maybe it's maybe on YouTube or something like that. But I've heard great
No,
things
Pacey, that was All
about.
My Children. Jesse and Andrew are All My Children, not General Hospital,
Yeah, that was
honey.
All
It
My
was All
Children.
My
Yeah, not
Children.
General Hospital. That was
Yeah,
Luke and Laura in General
that was
Hospital.
Luke and Laura. We talking about the black version. The black version of Luke and Laura.
Yeah, that was. That really was. Those two couples were probably the biggest couples that I can recall
Mm-hmm.
what do you call it,
Mm-hmm.
daytime TV. Luke
Mm-hmm.
and Laura and Jesse and Angie. Yeah,
Yep.
I think two longest relationships too. I remember
Yeah.
all of those. Don't ask me how, y'all. Don't ask me how. I was little. I was what
Yeah.
but
Welcome in,
but I've
everybody.
heard
Hi, Valencia. Mm-hmm.
but I heard so many positive things about Tasha Smith being a director.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said,
Mm-hmm.
she's gone from being in front of the camera
Mm-hmm.
to saying, you know what, and honing that craft. Everybody we're talking about today, and have honed, not just being, and we'll talk about Kim Fields too, but not just
Mm-hmm.
honing being in front of the camera and that craft, but
Mm-hmm.
saying, you know what, there's a craft to being behind the camera too, and knowing where to put people, how to put them, like you were
Mm-hmm.
saying, putting them in the right
Mm-hmm.
clothes, having
Mm-hmm.
the right cast,
Mm-hmm.
casting the right people. Yeah, so yes, but I've heard nothing but great things about Tasha Smith. I mean, damn, I could know. Yeah,
Yeah, you got it right.
yeah. With her being behind the camera, and
Yeah.
everybody said that thing. She's a beast behind camera.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
And they
like,
said
that
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 she's
is great.
and she cares too. And that's one
Hmm.
attribute that a director should have,
Yeah,
right? That they
yeah,
care about the actors. They don't want to put them in compromising positions. Something happened. Let's say if your child gets sick, you can have some directors like, well, you're gonna have to figure it out because you're gonna have to finish this. And then you have some directors
hmm
that say, you know
hmm
what, go handle what you need. We'll film you another day, or sensitive
right.
to the needs, because I think actresses actors are better at that because they understand, again, what it's
Hmm.
like to be behind the camera, and they give what they probably would have needed. So we're moving right along because we got a lot of people to do. Let's talk about the OG in the game. 70 something years old now. We know her from Fame. We know her from A Different World. We know her from The Cosby Show. We know her, and her name is Debbie Allen. She's in her 70s and she's still directing Grey's Anatomy for the 99th time, 100 years, because Grey's Anatomy been on for about 25 years. I mean, I probably
Is
watched
it
all.
still on?
Yes, it just hit another season. I'm still loving it. I'm still
Really?
loving Grey's
All right,
Anatomy.
I got I got to I got to You just
So let's
gave me
talk about.
a evening convers. But real quick, you just gave me an evening conversation. Grey's Anatomy or ER? Which one is better? I'm just saying.
I say Grey's Anatomy,
Um,
100%. Grey's
you think so?
Anatomy, because it's
I don't
yes.
know. We're gonna
Because
find. We're gonna
you
find
watch.
out though.
Do
We're
you
gonna
watch
find
Grey's
out.
Anatomy? Do you watch Grey's Anatomy?
Not right. No, I
I'm
think I watched
telling
like the first couple of seasons,
you,
but I
no.
haven't watched. I haven't watched it in. I haven't
It's
watched
like
it in
20,
years.
almost 20
In
years
years.
strong. And the way,
Yeah.
I mean, when
Yeah.
they covered COVID, when they covered,
You
it's real life. So let's talk.
you know who we forgot?
It's a lot of people. We
Who
can't name everybody.
she writes? She doesn't direct though.
Who?
Who's the writer for Grey's Anatomy?
Oh, Shonda Rhimes. Yeah, she's the
Yeah, she
creator.
she doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't. Yeah, she's the creator.
We
She
have to
doesn't
do.
direct.
Yeah, we do. We have,
She
and it's
doesn't
a lot
direct.
of women directors that we're not going to get to. I'm trying to get to as much as possible. We're trying to do that, but it's going to be a lot more. So if we miss, one of your
Yeah.
favorites, let us know in the comments. But let's talk about Debbie Allen. She directed in 84 to 84 and 87 when she directed Fame. She was in Fame, honey. She directed Janet Jackson's Dream Street video in 1984. Bronx Zoo, Family Ties, we taking y'all back. Polly, and y'all remember that Felicia Rashad was in there. Melba Moore, Lift Every Voice and Sing. My auntie Melba. I just got to say this real quick. I'm doing a project on mothers. I'm still waiting on yours, Leroy. But
I
my
know you
aunt,
get it today. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was
but
thinking about it
my
today. I
aunt,
was like, oh, I forgot to send it
yes,
to her.
but my auntie Melba Moore even put a submission in my book.
Oh wow. Oh, that's
Yes,
awesome.
yes,
That
and
is
I got permission to call
awesome.
her my auntie when I met her a couple years ago. When I
Yeah,
interviewed
that's cool. That's
Yep, so
awesome.
she talked about
Yeah.
her mom in that book, so
But
I
Miss
appreciate it.
Miss Debbie Allen, Norm
Fresh Prince
Nixon
of
wife.
Bel-Air, Norm
Hmm.
Nixon's wife, that's right, and Norm was fine back in the day, and Norm Nixon is still fine, okay? He's still fine, and they act like they still in love, they acting like Basine and Joe, still in love after all these years. We still together, we still
I
together.
know that's right.
But I'm getting ready to throw you back to all the old ones, Leroy. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Polly coming home, Stomping at the Savoy. Let me tell you something about that movie. Stomping at the Savoy
Mm.
had Lynn Whitfield, Vanessa Williams, Jasmine Guy,
Hmm.
Vanessa Bell Calloway. I still got that somewhere that I done taped on VHS, a VHS tape, a VCR tape. That was good. Quantum Leap, y'all remember that? And of course,
Wow.
she directed 83 episodes of A Different World. Duh.
Hmm.
The Sinbad Show, Between Brothers, The Jamie Foxx Show, Links, Martin Luther King Special, The Kirk Franklin New Nation Tour, Twilight Zone, The Parkers, That's So Raven, Life is Not a Fairy Tale. She directed Fantasia Barrino's TV movie. She directed 44 episodes of All of Us. That's my show. You know, with my heart, Dwayne Martin. You already know how I feel about him. And Lisa Raye. She directed my favorite show, 9 episodes of Girlfriends. She directed The Game, 10 episodes of Everybody Hates Chris, Hellcat. She done directed a gazillion episodes of Grey's Anatomy, The Client List, Army Wives. That's my show. Let's Stay Together. That was my show. How to Get Away with Murder. She done directed Empire, Scandal, Jane the Virgin, um, Survivor's Remorse, Insecure, Step Up, The Miss Pat Show. Love that show, by the way. Dolly Parton Christmas. I mean, we can go on and on and on. It's clear to say Debbie Allen is one of those actresses that can still act her butt off, but she is called. She's one of the first people called when it comes to directing. Shout out to Miss
Always,
Debbie Allen. Come on, Leroy.
always think about the. Do you remember the episode of A Different World
The
when she was
Cosby.
on there? She was a therapist.
Oh,
No,
she put
on
her
A Different
wig.
World when she
She
was.
put her wig. I
Relax,
know what
relate,
you're talking about.
release, relax.
Relax, Ray, release, and she went through, and Jaleesa took her wig and straightened it up.
Wait.
Yes,
Oh my
yes,
God.
yes, yes,
But yeah,
yes.
she's definitely the goat. And when it comes to she's like Spike Lee. When it comes to directors, if you ask me, I
Mhm,
would I would
mhm,
put her on that level. She hasn't
mhm.
done movies or whatever, but when you think about the small screen, like you
She done
said,
movies.
she well, I'm just
She ain't
saying, I'm
done probably
talking.
she ain't done feature film.
Yeah, feature film, right? But when you think of, like
Mhm,
you said, when they do that call sheet for directors, and they
mhm,
they need a they know they need a show enough.
mhm,
Yeah, get
mhm.
Debbie on the phone. Get Miss
Get
Allen
Debbie
on.
on the
Get
phone.
Get Miss Allen on the phone. We need her here.
No,
You
you know,
know.
black people got to say, "Get Miss Debbie."
Hmm. Yeah, get Miss Debbie on the phone.
Get Miss Debbie
We
on the
need her
phone.
here. So,
Get
yeah,
Miss Debbie on the
absolutely. So yeah, she has definitely been, and like you said, a lot of people don't remember Fame. She was on Fame, and you said she directed some episodes of
A
Fame as well
lot of
too.
them. That was in the
So I
beginning. A
wonder if
lot
that's
of
where she started. Yeah, I'm wondering if that's where she started directing when she first started directing. You know
Yeah,
what
it
I
was.
mean?
That was the first
You
one
know?
outside of a little special that she did. That was it.
Okay, okay,
Basine said we
okay,
need to do a
okay.
part 2 of the ladies that direct. We're gonna try Basine to get as many as possible because, as you heard Leroy say, we got to focus on the men next week. So we got to get all the ladies in. We want to be fair.
The men's, the
So next up,
men's.
we're gonna move right through it. Next up,
Uh-huh.
Kim Fields. Now,
Yes,
if you were a young black
yes.
girl and
Tootie.
you like me, then you know you was loving Kim Fields when she was Tootie on those skates, and then when she crossed over to a different world, and she was like Willis, but Willis had Janet. You know all of this stuff. Kim Fields from Baby I'm Back. Come on now, you gonna tell your age if you know about Kim Fields with Damon Wilson on Baby I'm Back. You know from Sanford and Son, the son, Damon Wilson. He was the baby I'm back. She was little. Man, when you think about that, and she was on Good Times, even though her mama was on Good Times, she was on Good Times as well. Kim Fields was on Mork and Mindy. Shazbut, Nanu Nanu. Come on now. Come on now. I used to
They don't know nothing about that 90. They don't know
man,
nothing about that 90.
man. I was trying to do that forever. We're
Oh
trying to
yeah, yeah.
Man, I was trying to do that forever. Mork and Mindy. What y'all know about Mork? If you know about Mork and Mindy, I want to see some noise in the comments. That's why I know you a real one. If you know about Mork and Mindy, right? The Facts of Life. Obviously, she played Dorothy Tootie Ramsey. She was on, so I mean, I can't even, she was on 227, she was on Rock, she was on Martin, she was on Living Single, obviously, as ReGina Hunter. She was on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, she was on Kenan and Kel, she was on Strong Medicine, she was on the Steve Harvey Show, she was on Eve, she was on everything. She was on Eve. Like my daughter was just talking about the episode where she was on, when she was like, JT, we need to talk. You know how men hate to hear women say, we need to talk. Every 5 minutes he was doing her.
Absolutely.
She needed
That's
to
the
talk.
that's the death
Right,
wish right there.
right. She was on One on One. She was even on the Real Housewives of Atlanta for one season, and she got up off of there. And now she is, I mean, so many others. She was on Insecure, but now she is on the Upshaws, which I think is in season 3 or 4 now with
Yeah,
Mike Epps.
yeah,
But as
yeah.
far as
That's a
directing,
good show.
yeah, yeah, it's good. So as far as directing, Living Single, Keenan and Kel, I'm gonna name a few because it's a lot. Taina, Tyler Perry's House of Pain, Let's Stay Together, The Ricky Smiley Show, Raven's Home, Tyler Perry's Young Dylan, which all my students love that. The Miss Pat Show, All the Queen's Men, that's with Eva. And let me tell you, Eve, I don't know if y'all seen All the Queen's Men, but Eva is something else. Eva Marcel, I'm
That's a
gonna
good
say her
show.
first.
That's
Man,
a good
woo,
show.
all the
And
Queen's
actually,
Men.
real quick, BET has a couple of good shows. All the Queens is one. All the Queens Men is one. Because
Mhm.
Ava is killing that role as Madam. I ain't gonna lie, she's killing that
Man,
role as Madam.
that's Christian Keys. Come on,
Um,
Basine. We're gonna give Christian Keys some credit. That's his show. He created that show.
yep.
Basine love Christian
He had a
Keys.
book though.
His time out.
That's based off of his book. He actually
Mhm,
has a book. That book is based. I mean, the show is based off that book. But
mhm.
real quick, all the Queen's Men, Kingdom Business, and the Black Hamptons. Those three shows
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
BET has that are just. I love those three shows. I don't watch nothing else on
yeah.
BET.
They're good.
I watch those.
They're
I watch
good.
those three. The writing is excellent.
Watch
The
Kevin on Stage
writing
Churchy and tell me
is
what you think.
excellent.
There you
Say it
go.
again.
Watch Churchy from Kevin on Stage. Tell me what you think. It's
It's
called
called
Churchy.
Churchy.
Churchy
What's it? What's
on
it
BET
on?
Plus.
Okay, okay,
Let me
okay. I
know
have to
what
look
you
it up.
think. I'm trying to figure out what
Okay,
I think about it so far. But
okay.
Basine, I'm about to take your 50 and over black card. It is not Mark from Ark. It's Mork from Ork. Mork and Mindy. Not Mark from Ark. It's Mork from Ork. Now I'm about to take your
She-
50 and over club card. But and all my students love That Girl Lele. Rest in paradise to comedian David Arnold. He that was his show. Kim Fields directs that, and she's even directed herself on the Upshaws.
Upshaws.
So Kim
Mhm.
Fields. So before we go to the next one, Leroy, did you have a crush on Kim Fields?
Well, no, I'm gonna say no. Not when I was younger, because Tootie. But like I said, my crushes when I was little was Thelma,
Of course.
Janet. I've always loved Janet. Janet's just
Hmm.
always been cute to me. And then
Hmm.
the other ones was like Jane Kennedy
Hmm.
and who I ain't had no business and Pam Grier.
Man, you ain't had that was too much woman for you back then.
Hey,
That was too girl.
I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you.
That was too much.
Absolutely.
That was too much.
But those, yeah, I mean, and I thought I always I guess she had the braces back then too. But I always thought she was cute. Always thought she was
Mhm.
cute, and
All the
I
black
just
girls was
always
trying to get
remembered.
that hair. Everybody was trying to
Yeah.
get that
Oh,
mushroom because her hair was
yeah.
moving. She had it was
Always.
bouncing and
I just
behaving.
always remember her being on the skate. She used to skate. She used to skate everywhere on the Facts of Life. She
Hmm.
was on those skates.
Those first
So.
that first season especially. Um,
Mhm,
we're just gonna
mhm.
mention Jasmine Guy has directed, Vivica Fox has directed, she directed her first movie, the TV movie about the first lady of BMF. So she just threw her hat into the directing game. And of course, Jasmine Guy has been doing this forever. School Days, Harlem Nights, The Different World, you know, Jasmine Guy has been definitely doing her thing when it comes to being well rounded in the business as a dancer, producer, writer, actress. So we want to definitely give honorable mention to those two as far as their contribution to all of that. And next up, who do I have? And Lisa Raye too. We'll put her in there because Lisa Raye has directed a couple of shorts, independent films, and she had started directing even before Vivica. So she has been doing it for a moment as well. And I love the fact that these women want to be multifaceted when it comes to the industry that they're in. And if they're like me, they're going to be up for a challenge and be like, yeah, I'll do it, even if you don't know it, to try. And I've had the pleasure of directing plays, never a movie, directing plays, getting folks together and doing all of that is a lot. I can't even imagine having a budget of $1 million or something. And I gotta, get and like all the women that we're talking about, all of these bold, courageous women, I'm sure that they were up for the challenge, just like I would be or anybody else out there who is doing that. Wait, Basine, taking a moment to talk about Christian Keys because that's her heart. Christian Keys is about to be, yes, he is in both books, right? And then, okay. Oh, okay. So she said she knew it was Mork from Ork. I'm gonna, okay. I'm not talking. Okay. That's right. So she know it was Mork from Ork because it is Mork and Mindy. So I'm gonna give you that, boo. I'm gonna give you that. Next up, we're gonna talk about and also and we'll put Jada in there for the honorable mention. She has directed multiple music videos, including Gerald Levert and so many other ones too. She was directing even on a small scale, even the 90s before they people were doing this. I don't know any large
Who was
movies that Jada has done, but I know she has been directing on the small screen
did,
and music
did
videos.
she
Hmm.
did she direct any of the what was the show she was on? Was it Hawthorne? Wasn't it Hawthorne
Hawthorne, yes,
that
that
she
was
was
such
that
a
she was
whoo.
on?
I watched
Did
that
she
again. That's
yeah,
such a good
did she
show.
direct any of that?
I believe she directed. Let me see on that one because I was looking for that one. Let me see.
Because I didn't see it on the list.
Yeah, I
But I'm
don't
thinking
know.
I thought that was one of the ones that she had directed. I think she
I'm
might have
not.
been the executive producer,
Yeah,
maybe
she
not
was
the director.
definitely the executive producer.
You
That's
know,
the one. That's the big boss that put the money out and say, "This is how we doing this."
yeah,
And I
they put the money up.
rewatched
Yeah.
Hawthorne maybe last year because I loved it when it was out. I
Okay.
rewatched it, and it was
Hmm.
still so darn good. Like Hawthorne is
Yeah.
a good show, and I saw somebody on TikTok talking about, and I was like, "It is a good show. It's such a great show." So if you guys haven't seen Hawthorne when it was out some years ago, do yourself a favor and watch Hawthorne. It's such a good show. Even if you'd be like, oh well, that's not my taste, or maybe I don't want to see Jada or whatever, how y'all be doing. But it's a good show. It definitely is a good show. I want to definitely talk about uh Regina King. And one of me and Leroy's favorite, the first thing she did around that was like music videos. I remember Jaheim asked her, eh, um, age is just a number. Um, and she wanted him in the video, her in the video. She's like, better yet, can I direct it? You know what I mean? And that's the same thing Jada
Mm.
did with Gerald Levert's. And she talks about that in her book. She was like, I'll be in the video if I can direct it. And I love that. Like the bold enough to say, hey, Regina King did it to Jaheim, and even she was
That's
directing. She came up with the concept, Jada, of California Love, before Tupac was even on it. She came up with the concept. She was directing that, and Easy E was like, yeah, you don't want to be close to Suge and all of that. I suggest you don't be on the set with him like that. And then later Tupac was on there and everything, but she was doing a lot of the things that a lot of people don't even know beforehand. And I love that,
mhm.
even with her and Regina doing the same type of thing, and Regina doing it years later. Um, but go ahead, Leroy, you're gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna say that I like how Jada and Regina leveraged, their skill. It's like, look, yeah, you want me, but you got to give me, and that gave them a foot in the door, so to speak, on behind the camera. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like let
Mm-hmm.
me do this. Yeah, I'll do that for you because I know I can act. I know who to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanna be able to move behind, do some stuff behind the camera, and that, please, y'all understand, that bodes well so much for you being able to have different skill sets. And that's what I tell people: you got to be able to do more than don't just be honed in on doing one thing. Have a nice rounded, be nice and rounded when it comes to things, because now I mean, these ladies, they don't, like I said, they don't have to sit around and wait for roles to just come around. They can direct. They can
Mm-hmm.
direct,
Mm-hmm.
and say, hey, I've done this, and here's my, we're reading off their catalogs,
Yeah.
so you know that they've done the work. They've done the work, and it's
Mm-hmm.
nothing that you've named by any of them. And
Yeah.
I would say, no, that didn't do it for me. It's good material. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like the
Mm-hmm.
work that they did was some trash or whatever. All the work that the work that everybody that you've named and the work that they've done is good work. It's all good work. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
kudos to Regina
Yeah.
King and Jada for not being afraid and saying, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna leverage this. Yeah, you want me in the
Yeah.
video, you want me put there, let me direct it. Boom.
Yeah. That's a
You
boss
know?
move. That's a
I
boss
love it.
move. Think about that. That's a boss
Yeah,
move.
absolutely.
And then
Absolutely.
with Regina King, it was that AJ and a factor, that Jaheim. And I guess it seemed like he was, I guess, maybe trying to flirt, like, I want you in the video. And she turned that thing around, like, if I could direct it. And it was Lisa Raye was in the video, who was Cynthia
Hmm.
Bailey, Vivica Fox. So for her to be directing those same women that pretty much that we're talking about now is pretty cool. And Regina
Yeah.
King, we know Regina King, like I did with the other lady, Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, Higher Learning, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, killed it in Jerry Maguire. How Stella Got a Good Groove Back, so funny. Daddy Daycare. We could go on and on. Miss Congeniality, one of my daughter's favorite, A
I'm
Cinderella
surprised
Story,
she
Legally Blonde. We could go on and on and on. You surprised
I'm
what?
surprised she didn't I'm surprised she didn't direct any of the Boondocks episodes. Not that,
Mm.
it,
I don't think she was
cause
directing
she.
then. I don't think she was directing then.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
I don't think
Yeah,
she
cause
was then. But
yeah,
and we don't, and of course they don't have a lot of the, for all those accolades we were talking about, Jada and her, they don't have a lot of the videos listed that they directed. But she's directed Southland, Being Mary Jane, Scandal, The Catch, Animal Kingdom, Greenleaf, This Is Us, Lord have mercy, Shameless, The Good Doctor, which is good, Insecure, A Man in Full, and one of Leroy and I's favorite movies, One Night in Miami.
yeah, yeah. Awesome,
Talk
awesome,
about that,
awesome
Leroy.
movie.
Talk about
And she
that.
did well, that was her debut, directorial debut of a movie. And what a way to come out, just like her and Denzel. I'm like, their first
Right.
director's movie. I was like, well, darn.
Right. And let me
But
correct
such
something
a,
too, because I made a mistake. Let me correct something. Her first her first directorial debut was Jaheim's video, but it wasn't for the song I said. It was Finding My Way Back. That was her first directorial debut. And then she did in 2011 Not My Daddy by Kelly Price and Stokely. So she did those videos. That was her first entrance into directing the videos. Then she went into Southland 3 years later. So I wanted to correct that. But go ahead, Leroy.
no, but One Night in Miami was such a powerful movie, and she got it. All I can say is she got it right. She got it right. I mean,
Mhm.
from the
Mhm.
from every actor that she had, the role that they played, from the guy that played Muhammad Ali, the guy that played Malcolm, the guy that played Sam Cooke, all of them. She got it. She got it right. I was like, this. I mean, it was just that was such a. It was just such a powerful movie, and it showed. I didn't even know that story,
Mhm.
and for her to be able to tell that story
Mhm.
of that way, I thought it was just super. I thought it was
Mhm.
super fantastic, and it was great. Didn't she do one of the westerns too? She didn't direct that. What was it? The Harder They Fall. Did she direct that?
Oh no, she was in it. No, she was just in that one.
Yeah, I know she was in. Yeah, I know she
I
was
don't
in it. I
see
was
that
wondering. Okay, so
listed
she didn't
here.
direct that.
She was in
Okay,
it.
okay. Yeah, I know she was in it. Yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
was good in that
I
though.
don't
That
know
was
why I was.
good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
That
But
was
but
good.
definitely, her and Denzel, they did their. They've done their things behind the cameras. Um,
Mhm.
in addition to what they've done in the camera, and she's another one that's been around since the '80s. Also,
Mhm.
because what
Mhm.
227 was the '80s or '90s?
Yeah, it was the 80s.
I think that was the
Think about
'90s because
think about
that
the
came.
outfit. That was the 80s. Think about the hair and the clothes.
But I'm thinking, no, that was
227
after
was
after Cosby though.
227?
It was
227?
after
Wait,
Cosby.
227 was the 80s. Let me see.
Nah, 227 was after Cosby because Cosby was like the
227 was
first.
the 80s. It was 85. 227 was the
Okay, so
80s.
they were around the same time.
So
Okay,
I think because
so
I
it was the
think
same.
about
So it was
Bobby
around the same
Brown.
time because
Yeah,
Cosby came out in '84.
because I think about Bobby Brown being on 227, of course, and I think about that.
Okay.
It ran like 5 years, maybe to 1990, 4 years, something like that. But it started in
Yeah,
I was in the ninth
got you,
grade. I was in
got
ninth
you.
or 10th
Yeah, in
grade.
the mid
It
'80s,
was
got
there.
you. So they were out around the same time. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as we round out, anything that you want to who anybody else you want to do an honorable mention, because we're going to the sorry basing, we can't have a part two. We're gonna go straight to the menses.
I'm trying to think. No, I think this was great. I'm glad you did this because it's not just about the big screen either. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
This is about behind the camera
Mhm.
on the small screen too,
Mhm.
and to highlight these ladies and what they did. Y'all know how we do. We do it different. We ain't doing it like everybody else. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That's
Come
what I
on.
love about it. And giving these ladies their flowers for being in front of the camera, for what they've done in front of the camera and what they've done behind the camera. I think
Yeah.
it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm talking Debbie Allen all the way to Regina King.
Yeah.
That's talent, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
talent.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
So
I'm glad you
it's
said that.
beautiful. But you know what? And I love that. I love Al. Al Black is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? When you think about that and you think about all of the just the and just look at the number of shows that you named.
A lot.
The show
From Sally
the
Richardson
shows that you
Whitfield,
named.
from Sally Richardson Whitfield to Tasha Smith to Debbie Allen, Jada Pinkett Smith, Vivica Fox, Lisa Raye, Regina King. I mean, those are
Kim
just a
Fields.
handful of ones that I can think off at the top of my dome. And
Absolutely. I
we
love
love
it.
them as actresses.
Ladies,
Think
take a
about all
bow.
of
Absolutely.
Come on, let's clap it up for
Take a
Black
bow,
women.
ladies. Take
Let's
a
clap it
bow.
up for Black
I
women.
know. Clap it up. Clap it up. My goodness, this was great. This was I really I like this, Kendall. I
Thank
like that because I hadn't even thought about it in those terms and thinking
thank you,
about
Lynn.
behind the camera on the small screen. So that's kudos to you. I'm gonna give you your flowers. So yeah, so kudos to you for thinking about that. So yeah, y'all
Thank
ladies, y'all Tasha, Miss Allen and Regina King. Hopefully y'all see this. She giving y'all flowers. She want to say, y'all see us, see me, see us. We here.
we here celebrating these amazing Black women.
Exactly.
Like Leroy
Exactly.
said,
Black
doing Black
excellence.
men tomorrow, Black excellence, right? Still doing their thing, still looking good, doing their things, still,
Yeah.
most of the women that I said, all of the women are 50 and over. When I think about it now, like doggone, they all 50 and over, and they all still working, still doing
Yeah.
their thing, acting, still acting. Outside of Salli, she wants to focus on, but if she gets the right role,
Mhm.
she gonna go ahead and do that too, but just really working on that craft. So I wish all of these ladies that we spoke about, much
It,
success, much more. Keep doing,
can I?
doing your thing. We see you and we wanted to acknowledge you, support you, and honor you today here on MT Jams, more
I
than just a movie. Season 6. What you want to say, Leroy?
Nah, and this is what I keep harping on, and I know you probably get tired of me talking about it, but this is why Tyler Perry needs to pick up the phone and call these ladies.
He called
I
Kim
got some
Fields. She
movies.
she directed for him, but his shows.
Yeah, I need you to direct. I got some manuscripts. I got some screenplays that I need directors for. Put them on the payroll. That's all I'm saying. Put them on the payroll because these ladies do their thing. I mean, I know he already knows Tasha Smith. So yeah,
Kim Fields. Hmm.
Tasha, I got some shows I need you to direct.
Let me take a
You got any
load off.
material?
Right. Let me
Yeah, yeah. I need to go rest for a bit. I need you to handle that for me.
yeah.
You know
Yeah. I don't think
that's what we can do.
I don't think Tyler's gonna do that. Maybe a
Yeah,
couple.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that's how MGM got to be MGM. That's how Sony got to be Sony. That's how those big studios got to be $1 billion studios because they had. I'm sure they have a core group of directors that they use. Tyler, who's in your circle of impact?
All right. You heard
Who
it. We gonna
who's
end right there. Because Leroy going to campaign every episode until Mr. Tyler Perry. And I have to say that shout out to my grandmother who passed away a couple years ago. She met Tyler Perry before, and my grandmother was
oh
102.
awesome.
She was 100, and she said she kept going, hi, Mr. Perry, Mr. Perry, that's Tyler Perry. So my family always be like, Mr. Perry.
I
Yes.
love it.
Oh my
Love
goodness.
it. Love it. Love it.
Perry. All right. Let's see what else. Last comment we have. Hey, Sheila. All right. She said, Basine said, awesome job, Kendell and Dr. Leroy. Sheila says, I'm with Kendell. He won't be doing that anytime soon. Tyler Perry ain't doing that. But Leroy trying to wear him down. But everybody, thank you, Leroy. Quickly tell them what they need to do, and we can be out.
Hey, real quick, hit that subscription. Hit the subscribe button. We need you to hit the notifications. Go on over there to the YouTube channel and subscribe. If you're already on the YouTube channel, subscribe while you're right there. It don't cost you nothing. Hit the subscribe button. like,
No.
comment, and share too.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to More Than Just a Movie. You heard my brother. You heard him follow instructions. Y'all can follow the instruction.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry may not, but follow his instruction. But y'all can follow his instruction. Everybody, thank
You
you so
heard
much
me?
for watching this episode of More Than Just a Movie, where we break down classic Black films, TV, and the Black experience when it comes to movies and media. Everybody, thank you so much for watching MT Jams. Make sure you share this out. We're celebrating Black actresses who also direct. God bless y'all. Peace. Go get your popcorn, watch your movies. Tell us what you want us to show or spotlight in season 7 as season 6 comes to an end. We got like probably like two or three more episodes. But all right, y'all. Thank you, Leroy. Love you, man.
Love you back. Deuces.
Thank y'all for watching.